Damanerds! What's up, nerds? We're here again, back in the studio. This time there is no virtualness about it. This is in person, live, and uncut.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe. Hanging out, with a few guys. I'm sure if you're watching the video, you've already kind of figured out that there's a couple familiar faces sitting around this here table.
Yes.
And if you don't know them yet, you're about to find a thing or two out about them.
Ooh.
I am Rod, of course, one of your guests, as always, one of the nerds, and I am joined in person, which is always a pleasure, by my fellow nerd right here, Señor MJ.
Buenos tardes, minasan.
Woo!
Double action there, man.
That was nice, actually.
5-8.
Episode
5-8 with some familiar faces. In the past episodes, we've had a few people come on 2 times, 3 times possibly. And this one is another part 2.
Part 2?
But also a part 1. Mm-hmm. But then we got another part 2. It's a mishmash, if you will. Reoccurring guests coming in for this one. We got the Soul Boys back in the house with one swap out,
Yeah. Alex Mitchell, who is he? He's gone. Not this year.
Oh, that's where it is.
Mr. Mitchell is
We got Kelvin.
Here.
We got Kelvin Wong in place of Alex.
Yes.
Kelvin Wong. We got Chado, as all the Japanese homies know. I think it's been creeping over to the North American side.
Absolutely.
Chado.
He's in my phone as Chado.
I think I'm fully Chado now.
Unless you're in Europe, in which case he turns into limoncello.
Limoncello.
Get a little limoncello in this man. He's a different man.
And we got Kevin DeSoto,
yes,
another reoccurring from the Soul Squad. And then, in this corner.
What
up? Sour Bash.
The one, the only.
From left field.
Back a dude.
Yes, but super excited to have him supporting the nerds. This is a jam-packed episode.
Oh, yes.
Almost not really rivaling, but, we got a lot of people comparing to our KWC.
Oof.
I think that was like episode 15 or 16.
Yeah, that was an early one. There was a lot of people.
Huge amount
there
of
was
people.
Like fucking 15 people. And at the end there was probably 50.
Yes.
That's
epic outro that will never be topped as of yet.
Yeah, that's some fucking homework for you nerds that are new to the show and haven't gone back and listened to that. You want to hear about KWC, you want to hear some epic shit, go listen to that.
Yeah. But here, it's a little more intimate, and we're going to be focusing on the Soul Squad, the Soul Boys, who are here again. One of the founders as well is here. 2 pros as well. So now when we're recording this, everybody, this is December 13th, the final day of Sue Lab's store, their shop that they had, the retail store. They've been grinding. This is actually their second iteration of the store. They had one originally in a different location, still in Kawagoe in Saitama in this town. And then they had to close one time, was off the grid, selling online for probably a year, and then came back in this location that they're at right now.
I didn't even know they had a first shop.
I didn't know better. It's really, really cool. So, and they're finally going to close their doors. And we know, there's connection with Soul and Sue Lab. Some people it just hits me complaining about how this shit's expensive. But, collabs can be a little more pricey because you got 2 people who are, want some of that green, as some say.
Well, there's also a lot more work put into it than a normal
thing.
That is actually the sole reason. It's way more expensive.
He said the thing.
I didn't even mean to do that.
That's why it was so good.
Yeah, it was.
It was so good.
So good.
But exactly. So that episode, Sue Lab, we're going to try to wrap this one up. We want it to be a little longer, but, shit happens.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, as per the last Soul Boys episode, we stepped away
3
from...
years ago.
Yeah, we stepped away from the Sue Lab event to come and talk about all the shit that's going on. At that time, I believe it was after KWC, not Catch and Flow, because it was in the summertime.
No, it was winter. It was Catch and Flow.
Damn, 3 years ago, this weekend.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember it being...
anniversary party.
I remember it being really warm.
No,
it was definitely
You were
nice.
probably
That makes a lot of sense. I had the big old fucking ginger highball. Shout out, Sue.
Yeah.
That roll size.
We were warm in MJ's car.
And the dreads. Yeah. I guess there's a few factors, Okay, so fuck me, I'm wrong.
You're good.
But here we are, back again to talk about some shit. And if you're listening to this, you probably realize that this is just after Catch and Flow just happened, like we just said. And that was some crazy shit. If you didn't see that, there wasn't much of a live stream going on.
There was zero.
It was on and off.
Yeah, there was nothing.
Except for Ken was doing
Ken
IG
did some.
lives.
Mhm.
I saw Tomatsu. We were at the judges table, and
he was doing some on and off.
Yeah.
And I
was
saw
on
the
and off,
Chrome
though.
guys doing on and off.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I fucking hopped in for all you nerds, and if you're looking to watch the finals, I did not do the qualifiers, but I did the finals. So if you want to watch the finals, you can hop in there and listen to my stupid banter while we're watching some craziness.
Dude, no, that's the best part. I feel like that's the best part, as well as some of the shit that I always wanted in live streams, where you go out and you ask and you're talking to the players, what are their thoughts at that moment. And so I did that a little bit, when they were fixing the stage, because there was that downtime.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right,
MJ
Nick Gallagher,
Oh, did you get Nick
you
on
got
there?
you
Nice.
got cut.
Dude, he did.
He's like, yep, that's what happens.
Way
And
it
especially
goes.
in Japan, the youngins,
Just goes to show, man.
they're going for the throat.
They're hungry.
It's something
They're-
in the
and they're
water.
eating.
Well, they're
Something in the
they're
They're
now
hungry
they're
and they're
fed.
eating.
They're fed now.
Yeah, it's messed up.
Maybe it'll last another year. We'll see.
I was gonna say, Rod, where can people watch that stream?
On at Rod Dama. Hit me up on Instagram. There's
Rod Dama.
the thumbnail is my face doing some weird shit, of course.
Yes, but so there is that
go back and
commentary in
watch
the
that,
background, as well as full nonstop from when this final 16 were announced on stage to the end, where we bomb rush Shinosuke.
Yes, I had my phone in my hand while I was lifting Shinosuke up. Actually, so it's an interesting angle on that one.
Yeah.
And dude, that was some craziness. Do you guys have a favorite moment from Catch and Flow, like a favorite run, a favorite trick,
Christ.
anything like that that comes to mind? I have one.
You had eyes on.
I
the whole
did.
time.
I watched
Yeah.
everything.
I'll tell you what, if you guys want to think about it for a second, I got one for you.
Give me
I'm ready as well.
2 days. I'll get back to you.
Yeah, okay, cool. My favorite, I think, player that I saw compete this time was So Canada.
Yes.
And for the sole reason that he was answering everyone else's tricks by doing them back in
Yes.
their fucking
In their
face.
face.
Exactly.
In their
It was
B-boy.
It was beautiful, man.
It was so-
there was some other
a very
B-boy
good
battles,
example of this is when Shinosuke it was Yasu. Yasu did a kip up in it was the semis or it was the semis, and he did a kip up. And then So answered back with a kip up plus a
Trip J
plus a
first
trip
J.
J.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
exactly.
sick,
That was one of the
dude.
better ones.
Yeah.
We were all geeked at the judges table.
yeah.
Bro. We were just like,
Total. Yeah.
dude.
me and Torko were like, that's some gangster shit right there.
Truly. And he did it with someone else. I forgot who it was and what the trick was, but he did it to the prior round that he had.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or
Just
it
went
might
up
have
and was
been
like-
with Yasu on that same bout,
I think it might have been.
Yeah.
right? And just
Yeah,
on
when
the
he was
first
like
round,
throwing the
second round,
Tama
on
at
the
him,
two.
like
That
doing
was
the
so
boing boing.
Oh, yeah.
like to the
That was
face
exactly it.
almost, like
Yeah.
just enough
Just- yeah.
length away that he doesn't hit
Yeah.
him.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's really awesome to see, because I feel like a lot of the players overseas, in Japan too, he went and started university, so he just stopped Dama posting anyways actively on that side. So a lot of people were just like, where'd he go?
Obviously kept playing.
yeah.
Because he's still a problem
Yeah.
Yeah.
a
in the
huge problem.
competitive
I mean,
world.
yeah.
He's won one
was second at
MKO
Cup,
like
right?
3 times.
Yes. One online one, 2 in person ones.
Yeah.
He qualified first this year. At
Yeah, he
Catch and
did.
Flow.
I was-
Second at Cup this year as well.
Yes.
Right there.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
there.
He is so
Yeah.
good.
So
Yeah.
good.
Literally.
So
He was for me, he had the highest variety score out of the entire qualifiers. At least for me. I was like,
Yeah.
he did everything.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
absolutely.
He was like 1 or 2 types of tricks away from like what I would consider a perfect run of tricks that you would land. And I was just sitting there just like, oh please, like do like a switch trick real quick. And like you win, I swear. It was really cool to watch, because most of the people kind of did. They stayed within like maybe 4 to 5 kind of different things out of 10 things I was looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he hit like 8.
Yeah.
And that was the highest. That was the highest one out of all the other ones I saw.
Also really enjoyed Shinosuke's 1, 1, 2,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4,
man.
like Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that was
then,
wild.
and then like we're all just like grabbing. And he goes 5. Like he's like, I'm going for the 5.
Yeah.
And then he got it to house eventually. He got it 10 to house. I'm like, that was insane.
He was like on the ground.
Never landed on the stage. Yeah.
Man, and he's like a short little kid. The fact that he can like get that within that small amount of movement.
How fast you gotta be, bro.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
That's why I won.
Exactly. Yeah. It was his day.
Yeah. Yasu like came in and like hugged him with the like 5 or 10 seconds to go.
Yeah.
And Yasu's like, you won.
Gracefully.
Yeah.
No, totally.
I've never seen someone do that.
They like celebrated for like the last 10 seconds.
There was a lot of interesting, like, these new gen kids, all the high receipts kids and shit, they all have, like...
Dancing.
Yeah, the dancing style really coming through, especially Yasu. Even, like, Nobunori was up there. He was doing some dancing stuff.
Yes,
his qualifying run was actually so sick. Just, like, with the hair and, like, the way he was dressed and all that shit. He's a motherfucking cartoon character. But, like, shit, I would watch that cartoon. It was sick.
Yeah, nobody like dropped it in after a house or something. He goes, like shocked himself, but he knew he had it. But he's like, oh, what's this? I landed it
in a weird way, like a little Kozuro.
He's a showman.
But like following like an absolute banger, you know, take the best of both worlds, I think.
And like since you brought up Kozurov, like Kozurov's run, dude, fucking holy, she chugged a Mickey of whiskey.
Oh my god,
that was not real. That had to be like tea.
It had
to have been tea.
I didn't. I didn't get to talk to her
after. But that
I didn't see her around.
I also didn't see her
practicing.
She literally was just like.
Honestly, she's a showman. I wouldn't put it past her to do the real thing.
And then she just like she tended to be that like drunk, like
salaryman,
queen or whatever.
No, it was like full. I don't know why she came in the dress. Probably just to like throw everybody off. She's gonna do something in that.
Because she started off by like looking like she's just waving, like the queen. Yeah. I think it was like,
and then she just like gets wasted. Yeah, with the tie around her forehead, like
rolling around on the ground, and then the classic Kozurov fucks around the whole time until it's like 5, 4,
and then
3, and then she goes for a whirlwind.
Yeah, every time.
Yeah, it's fucking sick. Oh man! But so going back a little bit here, Kevin, you just mentioned that there was 10 things that you were looking for variety-wise. Would you like to enlighten anybody who's trying to compete what those 10 things might be?
Yes. So this is all very obviously my opinion of what I think is more of a perfect kind of freestyle run. You obviously have like your juggles, your taps, your chem flips / gunslingers. Those are kind of in the same category.
Rotation of the gun.
Exactly. Like a lot of like grip switches.
Okay.
Utilizing like candle, SAR grip, Kengan, Tama grip. Like if you can use all 4, boom, you hit that category. Like that, you have to have that.
Yeah.
Like spacewalk kind of stuff. Any form of like string flow or like goon circles, that kind of thing.
Yep.
Stalls. Stalls and balance tricks like lighthouse lunars, stuff like that. Oh god,
spikes.
Fast hands.
Fast hands, absolutely. Fast hands are important because they're so. You gotta have them these days. You have to have them. They're the meta.
Hands.
Like they're the meta of what tricks are. It adds in that extra level of difficulty.
Totally.
That the trick didn't have before. You know,
regular spike just doesn't cut it anymore.
Right.
Days.
You gotta.
You gotta do that last little
something. Side note. So everyone has their different priorities and what they actually consider to be fast hands.
Very true.
Yeah. I'm on the side of I don't want to. Personally, I don't care what other people do. Personally, I'm feel instructed myself, and if I was a judge, I'd probably lean towards that. But if I hear the Sarado hit the
like a
in and then switch, no good.
Right. It's
so
gotta
in my
be
case, I suck at them because I'm always like tip wet, and then I try to attempt it.
Right. Like you don't like
wait not at all.
Yeah, no, it's like a.
So around the table, what are you guys on?
I'm on your same page. Like I want it to be one motion down into it, not like a
yes.
like a bop or
right.
It's not a 2-piece; it's a 1-piece.
Exactly.
I missed that, but it's whatever. You get the idea.
I think the ideal fast hand is one in which like it's just that single like if it's perfect, it is
right
in there. Yeah, right when you switch. There's 3 fast hands that I really love, and I think they're all fast hands. You've got that one, the ideal perfect one, where it's like not quite on.
Silent killer.
Silent, but there's that one swap, that one sound. I really love that. I love the where it just
you
kind of
like it grinds on the inside of the bevel.
But it is at half, but it's like also touching the full. So I love that one, and then I love the one that is like, let's say you're doing a stunt playing fast hand like pull up, and you go fully on. It touches here, and then like it stays fully on in the air for like a full second or two, and then you catch it.
Yeah,
I consider all three of those fast hands, and they're all a little different.
Yeah,
but
I think the most when I'm
cool
looking at it the most is like airplane going for the fast.
Yeah, the joystick fast hands, like you've got to be you can only do them the first way. I think.
I think those
for a joystick fast
those are
hand.
definitely like one of the hardest ones because like most of the time like when you see people do tricks with like airplane like J fast hand, it's the 2-piecer.
And the reason why is because it's a change of momentum where the pull up stunt is up. And gravity's going to make it go down. So the J-stick, you're flipping it towards yourself or away, whatever direction. It's coming down, and that kin's going to try to keep flipping.
Right.
So whenever it goes in, it stops that momentum completely. You have to not only get the kin in the bevel at the perfect time and swap at the perfect time, but you also have to like catch that momentum at the time where it doesn't overturn to where it's like that. Almost like a 3-piece kind of deal. I did see a few of those on stage, and like me, if I were to judge, would look at that and be like, "Oh, like that was a grip switch."
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That was a fast grip switch.
Yeah.
And typically J-sticks are the only, or one where the kin is flipping into the tama fast hands are the only ones I think that are like that line is just it's black and white.
Yeah. I feel that.
So,
I feel that.
I think for me, like, I agree with Kev and Chad. I think Logan uses the very good example of like doing the whole like, if it's more than like, oh wait, no, this is for instas. Never mind.
But they might as well. There's like a time thing with slow.
With slow-mo. So like, just like, if it's like if it spends a certain amount of time together, then like, and then you transition to the other grip, then I don't
like
think
if it's in, it's like a frame of in, and then a second frame of in, and then a switch. It's like, that's too many frames.
It needs to be like a smooth transition, kind of like like one of those like smooth gradients that you see, and like it can't be like choppy. It needs to be like smooth.
I feel that.
There has to be no questioning it.
Yeah.
Like if you're questioning it, then you probably should clean it up.
Yeah.
I try to keep that in mind when making Battle of the Border tricks. Like, which ones, like UFOs, Matt Sweets was also talking about this, like, kind of stopped putting them in lists, or maybe it was Weens. You've got to be careful putting it in the list because it's so hard to judge and to consistently, like, hold someone accountable to that.
Yes.
And so it's like, you kind of you take it out of the list just to avoid that controversy.
UFO
like J-stick fast hand, I'm just kind of like, that doesn't really need to be an open division. So
yeah. Yeah, UFO in general is like a hard trick to judge just because it has to be that horizontal rotation. And it's it's really easy to not have it perfectly horizontal and still get the trick.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, it's still the trick, but it's not the trick, like, because you're still doing the flip, you're still throwing it, you're still catching it in the spike, but it's not. Like, if it was a real UFO, it should be flying sideways. It wouldn't be just floating, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, well, maybe they should call it like, what are they now, UAPs or something?
Yeah.
Something that flies diagonally.
We've got to update
That's the new
terminology.
That's the new one, the new term.
Yeah, the Pentagon came out this week.
Right. Of course, don't get me wrong, like, Kaito's, like, 5 turns to fast hand, from the airplanes, ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just personally, exactly.
So impressive,
yeah,
absolutely.
totally. But yeah, so many different things. Like, again, a cool thing that we saw at Catch and Flow this time was more overseas players in the top 16.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Even though the number of people who came were lower.
We still had a pretty diverse.
I thought there was more competitors this.
It was about 70-ish.
74 competitors.
But then how about the from overseas?
International players like
countries.
8 or 9.
Yeah.
Right. Was it was always like that? Maybe.
Yeah,
Like GT at one point had like 8 or 9 players here themselves.
Yes, so they had their whole.
This is
squad
definitely
one
a
time.
smaller
It was like 2016
international
or some shit. Yeah.
group.
Yeah, because there was what? There's Hong Kong,
Korea,
Hong Kong, Korea, Italy,
Canada, France.
How did I try to get placed in like the first group?
He signed up.
It was
super
signed
late.
up
Super
late.
late.
He signed up late. So there was a section.
He's like, I booked my
So
flight.
each
this
one had
week.
like 9
Gotcha.
spots, but there was like an extra spot in each
Gotcha.
each group.
Yeah.
And so 4 people, that's what was 70, and
That's
then the
smart.
4 is 4 extra people.
I think Juryu was also placed into one of those spots.
Yeah.
I believe
okay.
so as well, yeah.
Just kind of tagged him on at the end.
Yeah, they're like, it's kind of late, kind of forgot,
Fit 'em in
throw them in there,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of countries represented though, which is awesome.
Yeah. He said
Really
7
great.
countries, it was really sick. And then
TK from Denmark, obviously,
right,
but he as a judge.
And then in the top 16, it was USA, Japan, Italy, France.
Yes.
That might have been it.
That
to be honest
might have
with
been
you,
it, yeah.
that might have been it.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
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 Some stiff competition.
Crazy. Dude, it was me and who was I talking to? I was talking to Jay Weens, and he comes up to me and he goes, dude, what the fuck is going on? Why is everybody honed as shit?
Oh yeah.
Because
G group?
I'll tell you right now, there was like no like botched rounds,
Yeah.
like at all. The closest one might have been in the finals. Yasu kind of that would be the most
Yeah.
Yeah,
dropped
Shinosuke just
ball,
popped off
quote
in the
unquote.
corner.
You know what I mean? Situation, but every qualifier, both rounds on every like 1-on-1, it was like. I've never seen a catch and flow where everybody's popping off every time they get on stage.
Yeah.
It was magical. It was
I think
crazy.
the venue it
Had
was a
something to do
big
with-
reason.
yeah.
It was
The
a
best
good
lighting,
venue.
we had really good
Yeah.
warm-up
Yeah.
spot.
Oh my God.
It wasn't hot. There was
True.
no cigarette smoke.
It
there was
wasn't like
a lot of
super
things.
jam packed. I didn't feel like jam packed because like at Harlem it was you were in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Tight,
You were
bunch of
sardines.
sardines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I also think that there's like, some other like elements at play too, because like this is the first in-person catch and flow since 2019. And like, you had Takuya winning, like Canal World Cup this year, which makes him like the first 2-timer for Canal World Cup.
Yeah.
And Yasu last year won catch and flow and won cup. So, it just like, it really is, like a really big thing of who like wins this catch and flow, because it like if Yasu wins, then it really reinforces this kind of like back and forth rivalry between Takuya and Yasu.
Yeah.
So and it's just there was a lot of play.
Yasu's been in like the last like 4 finals.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think Shinosuke also is not a
Yeah.
player
Yeah.
known overseas.
Yeah.
In
Right,
part due to he's sponsored by a fully Japanese brand and doesn't have that
right.
exposure. So
Yeah.
I think this opportunity for him is great.
Great.
Oh, it's huge, yeah.
He's been.
I've
he's
had a
been
lot of
nasty
people
for
asking me who
a
won
long
catch
time.
and flow. I'm like Shinosuke. They're like,
Shinosuke.
Who's that?
Who's Shinosuke?
Dude,
Yeah,
So I have the opportunity to
he'll
like.
melt your face. That's what he is.
Yeah, exactly. And people were asking like, "Well, who's he sponsored by? Is he on a team? Like, what the fuck?"
All kendama.
Right,
Check
you know,
out
like,
all
he's-
kendama.
yeah,
He's
all
a pro.
kendama.
He's a pro for all kendama.
If you pay attention to any Japanese players, you probably know Ken Hole or have seen it or
Yeah.
heard of it. So he's also on Ken Hole.
Yeah, Ken Hole's run by his father. So
There you go. He's definitely
deep
on
in
there.
it. He's deep in it.
Yep.
And he,
I have a full YouTube video all about all the accessories and shit.
oh yeah.
Talk with
hell
him.
yeah.
Go check it out. Ken Hall Accessories. You'll be able to find out about it. But yeah, dude has been grinding. Little Shin.
Sorry.
Since I
Yeah.
I just remembered a thing. I'm sorry.
since he was like what?
Okay, I'll fucking
You
say
gotta
it.
say it.
Yeah. So it has to do with like Shinosuke and Ken Hole. So like at the end when he was giving his speech,
Oh,
it was
yes.
like he's like, oh yeah, like Ken Hole's pretty sick. Like check out this sweater. It's nice, right?
Yeah.
We got him in the back. Go buy one.
Dude, shameless plug.
Shameless
Oh my
plugs.
God.
So, but last
Every event, I shit you not, every event when he's on stage doing whatever, like demo or something, at the very end, he's like, "We got our goods in the back.
yeah.
You can see this Kenjami, get it right over there."
It's good, it's
Every time.
He's flawless, man.
But there was a time, I think it was the last catch and flow in person maybe, where he went up for his qualifiers or whatever, and I think he might have even grabbed the microphone and said something.
Yes, yeah, it
Yeah,
was
he like took
okay.
the mic and
Yes.
like was like,
Yeah.
yeah, so I want to show you this, and it was like he's doing his run,
There's the spray.
and he had like they have a little spray bottle that like they sell, so you don't have to lick the bevel,
yeah.
and so he's like, yeah, it's pretty good, you do this, blah blah blah, and he goes to spray it, and the thing was all clogged and fucked up, so he's like on stage, has to pop it open and like
No.
fix this thing,
Yeah.
and it's
Puts
kind of
it-
like Elon Musk fucking showing how bulletproof the Cybertruck is,
Yes.
the thing at the window and it cracks.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
It was a really funny moment. So sorry, Shinosuke, but
Yes.
He redeemed himself.
yes,
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Made his father proud.
Yeah, I bet you he sold
He
a couple
went in.
Ken Hole things.
I bet he did.
Yeah.
And he went in with like such a good mindset to just like overtake. Like me and Rod up front, we were watching his last finals, like not just his finals, but his bouts with other people as he was going through the ranks. And yeah, he would see them throw down. He's watching, and me and Rod noticed first him just go like,
He goes.
Yeah, no. He was battle mode.
No,
he
he
was
was.
battle mode.
Yeah.
Like he was focused on his own game and just trying to like do whatever he has to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pleasing
I
the
think
crowd
Rudy's
and
like
just landed
12 or 13 or something.
13. I
Yeah.
asked
He's
him 13, this
right?
morning. Yeah.
Wow. He's 13.
Man.
He's been in it for the past like 7 years. I
Oh
remember
yeah, back when he had long ponytail, man.
Yeah.
His hair used to be as long as my dreads. Man.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
But-
I remember him when he was as long as your dread.
I was literally gonna say that.
you know, when I first saw Little Shin.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he was really little Shin, and he's
Yeah.
still little. But yeah, with the length of the string, his control, he's just
Oh, it was fantastic.
yeah.
It was a pleasure to watch.
Yeah.
yeah.
And he has so much like background, like doing demos and stuff. Because
Right.
his dad's got the shop. They do like monthly like venue like spots where they do like events and shit.
Just getting used to
So
the
he's
stage,
always
like
playing kendama in front
right,
of people.
right.
Yeah,
So it's
Being-
nothing
That's
new.
so important.
So it's nothing new
That
to
is
that
so
guy.
important.
Yeah.
He's clocking in. It's another day at the office.
Exactly, and I feel like that is such a big thing when you are doing, I guess, any kind of thing. But I feel like maybe open, you could kind of like put on your blinders a little bit. Maybe I'm not sure. I've never.
Yeah.
Went into
Sometimes
it.
some
But
people some people can, some people can't.
Yeah.
Because it's like a lot of people are just like, oh yeah, I'm used to maybe me filming and me being by myself, and now it's like I have the entire like kendama community
Watch.
basically
Yeah.
watching me perform
Yeah.
live,
Yeah.
and not
Yeah.
like on Instagram or not anything else. So it's like, so some people's like favorite players and stuff like that, they're like, dude, they're in the crowd and they could be seeing me
Yeah.
land this
Yeah.
trick right now, or like,
Yeah.
oh, I hope I don't miss in front of everybody and everybody's gonna think I'm bad or something. Like, you start filling your head with all that stuff, and you
Yeah.
start getting the shakes, you start, looking around too much, and you just know you gotta dial it in. Nothing exists. You and your kendama. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we're sitting right here with the master of that technique, with the breather himself over here.
Can't do that.
Breather.
Can't do that in freestyle.
You cannot.
That'll be half your round, bro.
All right, Kelvin. 15 seconds left. Hold on.
Although you kind of did though,
You
even
did have
before.
a little downtime, like
Yeah.
in between and right
In between,
before,
like, I just
you
get,
got
like, a-
seconds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I get a quick one in, like, within freestyle, just because, like, I'm like, okay, like, because for me, like, freestyle, like, my body reacts weirdly with freestyle than it does open, because, like, open, like, I have it so much more dialed in than freestyle.
You know what the vocabulary is.
Yeah, and definitely,
Like
Right.
what's coming.
yeah.
Right.
And I,
You've probably been studying too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, and, like, just, like, I started competing actively in freestyle this year, so I'm like still getting like used to it and stuff like that, and like even now, like whenever I do my first like match in freestyle, like it always happens with my legs like they're dead, so I have to like hit my thighs like a few times, just like
Whoa.
Activate.
yeah
Activate.
Get like maybe like
that's
a mini
bananas.
taser, like set it down a little.
Taser.
Jolts you back away. I didn't even know that. You never told me that.
yeah no like I like when it happened, like it wasn't like it was my match with Maudie, and I was like, okay, yeah, I feel in my legs a little bit, so I was just like, okay, so I need to hit him a few times, and then like I don't know, like my stomach gets a little like acidy, so I was just like, okay, I just need to like
Your body like
Physical.
turns like
Yeah.
50 or something.
It's just probably just like anxiety.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Stress.
Because it's like I feel like for you, because open is such a controlled environment
Yeah.
for you, like you
Yeah.
can kind of, like I've told you,
yeah
you have all the time in the world up there. So like, you know the trick,
Yeah.
you know you have to do,
Yeah.
you've seen your opponent do it, or you're trying to show your opponent that you can do it.
yeah
And you have this like goal in your head, and it's one trick, one try.
Mm.
It's very controlled, very minimal, very structured.
Whereas for like freestyle, it's
It's
just,
like-
yeah.
You're just thrown into the ocean.
like there's so
no
many-
floaties, and you
Yeah.
gotta swim with the sharks.
Yeah,
Like
there's so many avenues that like you can take to get to where you need to go. Whereas open, it's just like you need to land the tricks.
one
yeah,
route.
it's streamlined. Yeah, straight and narrow. That's
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's so like so I feel like your body's basically like, I don't know what's happening, so I'm just gonna like where do my like what do I do with my hands?
Yeah.
You know, like this kind of situation that your body's going through, and then you're like, your legs shouldn't be being active this much.
Yeah.
They're used to like the 1-2 motions and then resting, and then it's like no, you have the like
40
a minute,
seconds,
the
minute
minute
and a
and
half,
30
yeah.
seconds
Yeah.
of like doing a run and like trying to do it as flawlessly as possible, and then
Right.
you go into these rounds where you're coming back in and you're doing it, and then sometimes in freestyle like things don't always go your way, and the Thomas spin's weird, so you're like going out of your way to like catch it and
exactly.
try to
Or the-
save it.
Or the string wraps around your fucking can twice.
Or the Tom, or like in Wyatt's situation, the Tama pops off in the middle of your trick.
Yeah.
I think it was right at the end.
was right at the end.
end.
He was like,
on his
he was
round,
like, of
first
course.
round of that
And
one.
I talked to him. We were talking about that like before the event, being like, "Yo, what happens if we do that?" 'Cause
Right.
we were talking with Nobu because I heard Melt was coming specifically, and I was like, I wonder if he would try to do like stringless on stage because like, and I'm like, well, is that allowed? So I just like asked Nobu like, can I go up there with a stringless kendama? He's like, no. It has to be a standard kendama.
Yeah.
So then I started scheming, and I was like, well, how long can the string be? He's like, oh, anything you want.
Yeah.
So I literally took a whole spool of string. It was probably 30 feet long.
It was very
It was so long.
Easy, and I strung it up, and it was just to see if I could do like a deconstruction juggle kind of thing.
Whoa.
Just to see. It would fuck me for everything else, especially being a guy who does so many moon circles. But it was just I was experimenting. It was interesting. So we gotta like push the boundaries a little bit to see like what's possible and do what we can within that. Right?
Absolutely.
It's interesting.
And I've brought up that whole like getting used to performing in front of people because Tall Guild took 2014's first Catch and Flow.
Yeah.
And I remember when I met him and Phil the Drill and the other cronies, Matthias,
Oh,
come to Japan, do a tour for the Vikings and stuff, and before that too. To see the way that they played off of each other, with each other,
they're performers. Like
they were full on performers. Like Phil just like doing like flamingo, like nonstop, being like, "Come on!" Getting the crowd.
And they did the same kind of thing that like Shinosuke has been doing. Like doing all these demos and going around like all the different places in like Europe and stuff. Like they went to Greenland and had that whole like Greenland tour thing they did. And so the amount of times that they've been on stage and just perform and doing their pizza tosses to each other, hitting the ceiling, and
it
like,
added up for them to just be so chill and doing these things like back of their hand, like, all right, these are the motions.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of Catch and Flow with freestyle, like everyone was just, I think, like just trying to figure out like, oh, what should I do? Should maybe go for this one? I want to take off these tricks, and then, but they're not like ready for like, oh, what happens after?
right? Because freestyle was so new.
Yeah.
Especially to like Japanese style play where like they've had, the JKA festival.
3 seconds.
Yes.
All right, you're good.
Right. It's very like very cookie cutter, very like not it doesn't flow.
Yeah.
There's a strict rubric.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's very strict. And then now you're giving them this like be free. Do whatever you want. And it's like
what?
that would be like no, if you only knew one of those ways, the other one seeing it for the first time would be bananas. Like I can't even imagine that. So it's and then Torkild comes in and he's just doing all the craziest flow stuff, and everybody's like, he clearly is doing more stuff and like he gets it. Like it just made sense, you know.
And like the JKA stuff, is like they required you to pre-write down all of your tricks
for freestyle.
For freestyle.
Because they had freestyle.
Like, we're gonna have a freestyle. Okay, so I'm gonna do this trick and this trick and this trick. And it's like, what the fuck? That's
Like
not
some world.
freestyle.
That's like World Cup.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Like what is it, ice skating?
Yeah, ice skating.
Where they kind of like, all right, I'm gonna go do this.
Yeah.
And it had it all lined up and stuff. Yeah. But I mean, Taiga, first world Catch and Flow, he got second place.
Yep.
And he's fully JKA brewed little dude. I mean, he's not little anymore. But a lot of the people in Japan, when we saw him, he's from Osaka, he came up to Tokyo to compete, and people were like, oh shit, like Taiga's like, he's got a reputation for not only like being like focused on tricks and getting them done, but freestyle as well, the performing side of it.
Absolutely.
And he showed that He still had it. At least at that time.
Made it to the finals. So
yeah,
he clearly was doing well.
Yeah.
It's also interesting kind of to see too that like, you know, nowadays you see so many different styles of freestyle too, and like you still also see, you know, remnants of that old JKA freestyle style.
Yeah.
And like, you know, like Marty, for example, right? Like he goes up there and he doesn't really do string flow, but he does single tricks. He does a trick and then does another trick and like, you know, yeah. So it's
and
just
like layers it. He probably has it like I'm gonna start out with these 5 tricks.
Yeah, exactly.
And then if I miss, these are my backup 5 tricks.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally.
Still ended up in top 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Freaking crazy.
3rd place.
Yeah.
So
it's wild, man.
there's no one way to the top.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it varies so much.
Freestyle, baby.
And that's why it's freestyle. Because it depends on like whoever's up there and how they're feeling that day, as well as who the judges are.
Yeah.
You gotta play to the judges, and like I cannot stress this enough. Like catch and flow is a different beast. Like I was talking to me and Wyatt were talking about it, and I was like, look, man. The freestyles we're normally used to, you know, there's 3 judges. There's no categories they're looking for.
Right.
Yeah.
So now it's always 3 freaking different people.
Yeah.
And you got to be like, okay, you got Royce, Frazier, and like Ben Harold, right? And you're just like, okay, Frazier's gonna want to see like something cool. Like he's like, just impress me. Show me something cool. Ben's like, and Ben's like, I want to see everybody land like everything. Like I want to see technical stuff.
He's counting your shit.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. He's very analytical with it.
He will judge you on an attempt at a really difficult trick, regardless of you spiking it. Your attempt at it and like how close you are.
Right.
And like if you get a portion of a trick, he's like, that run he went on, like that was a good run. They didn't like go somewhere, but it's like it's like a 0.4 of a point.
Right. You
as well as how
credit.
safe of a trick it is for your own style, right? Like for example,
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
So like that's
a
what
huge
Ben's
thing,
told me that before. Where like, you know, if I was to go up there and do like 10 tap juggle, you know, obviously even if I missed it, I feel like he'd give me extra points for that than if Takuya does it. Because that's like Takuya's breakfast, you know.
Right, and that's freaking hard as hell for us.
Man, if I did a 10 tap, I'd fucking have to retire.
I'd be like, I better win the round if I did a 10 tap. Are you kidding me?
And we saw some 10 taps.
We did see a 10 tap.
Yeah,
absolutely.
did.
Maybe even 20. I don't even. I stopped counting at some point.
It's so crazy that like, you know, in Japan like 10 tap is just like America's 4 tap. Like
it is wild.
It's so like desensitized
again,
now.
but again, like I think especially for that, and in Japan, it's like it's numbers. It's like, all right, how many points can you get? How many more taps can you get? How many more
than you
add on? Yeah.
What's the most that's been done with the tap?
60?
I think it was 60.
60.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're up there.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
I thought there was fucking people doing construction outside. I was like, what?
I mean, he posted a trick today. I think it was 18 tap, then 18 juggle
what was
10
like,
flips,
10 flips,
and then 18 tap in, and then with another 18 tap add on.
Yeah.
It's like what the fuck?
Like it's cool for
it's
me.
Not okay to just do that.
No, it's not
Like,
okay.
you can't just wake up that morning and be like, I'm gonna do 4 18s.
Yeah. But also,
No one's doing that.
we don't know how much of the footage was cut. How long was that SD card? How many SD cards did he put into that?
Yeah.
Right.
With his skill and
was it a
what we
10-minute
see-
sesh? Was it a 10-hour sesh?
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
And his reaction was like, you know, pretty cold, so like you can never really know.
He's always been like that.
Yeah.
He's ice cold, baby.
Yeah.
Ice
yeah.
cold.
Yeah.
Man.
Young Celsius.
Y'all ever
That's you. You're young Celsius. You're young
So you
Celsius.
seen that video Isaac Turner made where I think he got either 6 or 8 tap.
Yeah.
And
We took like
just
hours.
like he grinded.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a very hard trick. Face red. He like finally spikes it. He's just like, yes, like almost like a Tiger Woods like celebrating.
Yes.
And then side by side video comparison with Takuya doing like 40 or 50 or something. Spikes it. Looks at the camera, walks up, just grabs his camera, like just to like let me
Like
watch that
nothing
real
happened,
fast.
yeah.
No
Yeah.
response.
Like maybe sure. Let me make sure it was 50.
Yeah. Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
Exactly. Different
Holy man.
mindset. As well as like that's how he grew up in those times as well.
Yeah.
In the tap times.
Yeah. Yeah, you know? Not high times. Tap times.
Yeah.
We have a new magazine? You know, we had
Tap
Tiplet. I remember Cody Grizz trying to scheme on like Whirlwind for a while.
Yeah.
Yank
Yang
Yeah, Yang Mag.
Yeah.
Tap times.
Right
Tap
now,
times?
The new tap times.
the tap times.
New
That's
times.
a good one.
Thanks, man.
Yo. All right, so
Start writing
I
articles.
want to bring it back a little bit. We're talking about in person versus online and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a question for you guys and see what you think about this, because I had some conversations about this and I thought it was quite interesting that the last in-person event, Catch and Flow that is, was the winner was Kaito,
Yes.
right? But the last winner online was Yasu.
Yes.
So Yasu was given a seed, but Kaito was not. He had to qualify.
What?
So what
That's true.
what did you guys think about
Which
that?
he did. But
What she did, but he was the very last one to qualify.
It's true.
Oh.
It's true. He was.
Giddy giddy.
Giddy,
I didn't think about that. Wow.
I mean, he got the seated spot the first year online.
It's true. He did.
That's true.
So like for me, it's like for me, I completely understand
I see.
that he didn't get a seed because I mean it had been 3 years since he won.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
you know, and Yasu just recently he won World Cup and Catch and Flow
Yeah.
that year. So
Yeah.
either way, he was gonna get one of them.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like so.
But like by doing that also, you're putting the online and in-person event on the same level. So you're not putting those on different levels,
right,
you know, which all of us who have competed in either know that
Right.
online
They're
and
different.
in-person are very different.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
right?
like vibe
Yeah.
wise and
Community
stuff. But it's
agrees,
still
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
it's still like, they still won that, you know,
100%.
regardless.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to
Right,
downplay
of course.
Yasu's
Yeah.
victory or anything.
No, of course.
I just think it's a very interesting point.
It is
Yeah.
absolutely. Like
I think the cool thing is the people that we saw win online are also winning in person.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah,
no,
right.
there's
Really
luckily
solidifies
there's no like controversy like, oh, did they like deserve that
Yeah.
or whatever. I mean, the online events, it's like we're taking the best out of a situation that's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
So I'm
Right.
I'm just glad that, you know, I mean, for those 2 years, really, there were just a handful of events, and there was the events that, you know, made the effort to go online, and so
Yeah.
yeah, I think they're legit, and I'm glad they happened.
Yeah.
From
I'm curious to see if they'll ever, you know,
Go
stick
back.
around. I
Yeah.
mean,
they might. I think Sweets
me
still
personally,
wants to do like a
Like this
Whatever-
summer special
yeah,
or whatever they
yeah.
have.
Once in a while, yeah.
right.
And I think there is a place for both within the community for
Yeah.
sure, because there is people who can't make it out to the events. There
Right,
is
yeah.
like, you know, downtime within the event schedule, and you know there is a lot of events also. So like,
Right.
you can't even try as you might, like you can't make them all. Trust me,
Yeah.
I've tried.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
From,
it's
from like a competitor standpoint, like it's just like, you know, like just having the crowd there like in person and just like being able to interact with
You can't
your-
match it.
Yeah, like being able to
No,
interact
can't
with your
match
fellow
it.
homies before you go up. That's just
Yeah,
that is the motivation that like, you know, wants to make you perform at your absolute best.
100%.
Because there's even back to what we were talking about with the whole like stage performing. You know, you take that away with the online competition,
right.
so you don't have to perform on a stage.
Yeah.
You're not performing in front of a whole bunch of people that you can see.
Yeah.
So now it's just like, oh, I'm basically just posting an Instagram trick
Yeah.
or I'm filming a live Instagram trick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't have immediate feedback or immediate reaction
Yeah.
to what I'm doing. So with those
Yeah.
people who succeed in those areas are going to do better in those online competitions, statistically speaking. And then those people who, like, I know I struggled in some of the online competitions just
Oh,
because
definitely.
I can't.
that's
Dude,
not
I
your
need
zone.
the
Yes.
vibe. I
Exactly.
need.
I'm the
I
same
need.
way,
give
man.
me the pressure, bro. Put me
Yes.
under
Yeah.
pressure.
Give me that
Give
energy.
me everybody's eyes on me. Give me like you have to do this
Yeah.
right now, or else like you're trash. Basically, like
Yeah.
that's an extreme way to say it, but like
Yeah.
that's like I
Yeah.
need that to be able to perform.
It's because like you're in the comfortability of like whatever is like your own home, your own room, like you have
Right.
nobody watching
I'm
you.
too comfortable. in
Yeah,
my house.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm too. So I'm like,
Exactly, yeah.
I'm like, it's whatever. I can just go make a sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No. When I'm there, it's like I need to be mentally ready, physically
Yeah,
ready, like
totally.
all that stuff. And at your house, it's like I just woke up an hour ago. I haven't
Yeah.
even showered. Like I had
Yeah.
some Cheez-Its before I started.
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
It's funny too because like, you know, like when we transitioned to online events and stuff like that, like I like from 2020 to 2021, it was like the worst I've ever performed, like, you know, competitive wise. Like I remember like online battle of 2021, I had my first like, you know, double first round exit. It was still double elim, but I had lost first round and lost double elim.
Oh, it sucks.
Yeah,
He
it's
texted
terrible.
me. He
much.
texted me. He's like,
It
"Chad,
sucks
I
so
disappointed
much.
you.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry."
It sucks because
I'm like, it's fine.
yeah. It just sucks because like, you know, like just like I know it was a weird time, but like, you know, like kind of like for me, it was just like, you know, like, man, did I lose my competitive touch? Because like 2019, 2018, I was gaining like really good momentum, really good tempo of like, you know, like I was starting to podium more and more, like, and stuff like that. And yeah, now I'm like, you know, off in the deep end.
Yeah. And I remember telling you all the time, I was like, dude, it's online, it's different.
Yeah.
Because like I told you, I was like, I was struggling too, man. Like, I'm usually doing pretty well in online tournaments. I'm like, out first round, out second round. I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah. But then you took third. At NACO, you took third.
I did.
The pressure was on.
Yeah, the pressure was on, dude.
Yeah, because you didn't want to be trash, like you said.
Dude, for real, bro. Because, like, and that's a whole nother thing, too, is there was, in my opinion, more pressure when we got back to real, like, in-person events. Because now it's like, okay, we had 2 years off of no in-person competing.
Where you been?
And we have a whole bunch of, like, you know, the COVID
babies.
The COVID babies that all started in this online era. So now, like, all these events, like Battle at the Border had its biggest attendance ever
like
this year. And it was the first, Battle at the Border was the first in-person event back after, you know, all the lockdown
and
stuff.
we were all walking around being at these events for how many years? Like, knowing every face always.
Yeah.
Walking around and not knowing anybody in the fucking room.
Yeah.
And it was the weirdest feeling. When we were on tour, Mags brought this up because we went to one of the stops of a tour, and there was a whole bunch of kids and like a whole bunch of people in Boulder, Colorado, and like I only knew maybe like 15 to 20% of the people that were there. And you know, back in 2018 and 2019, you probably knew like 20% of the people there. Like, yeah, and it was the same people always, and the others you've seen on Instagram. So it kind of felt like, at least for anybody who's pro back in like 2015, 2016, even like you're out there installing domes, take your picture like you have this lady, you know, famous kind of feeling that's like really weird. It's like when you're like just a guy, and now after the era of these they came to the first event, and now and it like really happy even Max was like it was like something on the song, you know, because he was kind of at the end. He came up. It was kind of at the end of a lot of different, end of that new era of like players that would like get your autographs and stuff. Yeah, and then it happened again, and it's like, whoa, like I haven't been in this situation in years. Like it's been a while.
It's also crazy too, because like, you know, transitioning from pre-COVID to like where we are at now with canal events, we don't see a lot of kids in American canal events. I don't know what they're all grown up. Every single one, like 20 plus, and it's just like, you know, I don't know if it's the same here in Japan, but like, yeah, in like the US, it's like NACO was
a huge showing of like, you know, like there were no kids at all. I did not see.
I think there was that one.
That one. Yeah,
it was like one kid that was under like 16.
He tried. He was like, trying to give me a granola bar for a kendama.
And
was really crazy.
Do you think that was possibly because of maybe parents being like, oh, we don't want to go on this big event with the times right now?
No,
maybe, but the numbers
in the
were
US,
high.
no.
Like, the numbers were high still. So that's what, and a lot of those, like I said, a lot of those kids, like Logan Tosta, like when he started, he was a little kid, and now he's in college. So like, and he's still around. Like D Westy is another one. He started when he was like 14, 15, whatever. Him too. Like,
I started at 14.
Everybody grew up, and like nobody stopped. So
beautiful, man.
The scene just grew up. Didn't get any new people for a minute.
Yes, and all the new
why we
people
all knew each other.
are through BMX and EDM.
Dude, all the new pathways.
So
like
it's
all this has been
hip hop,
helping.
fashion, like, you know,
Dude, it's been
a lot of really cool fashion.
Yeah,
it's been awesome.
It's been on the go. Working in different avenues. It's so amazing to see those like links to just spread it a little more.
Right.
So it's an interesting take. I think that the companies that almost like have to do now, because they're like, well, you know, we know Chad since he was 14. We had his receipt when he ordered, you know. So we need some new faces.
Yeah, I got some sweets and Kusa orders back in my way back.
It's kind of sad just because, like, you know, like there is a part of me that's like, you know, dang, like, you know, just like having all these kids around, like, gets you, like, really excited. Like, man, like, I remember, like, when I was your age and, like, I was, like, first starting out with kendama.
This guy.
Yeah.
Turns 20, and he's all old and wise now.
What was that, a week ago?
Yeah. Like a week ago.
Yeah, that was before his legs started.
Yeah, it's all downhill from here, bud.
Yes, sir.
Young Celsius over here.
Young Celsius.
But yeah, now it's just like the dynamic with canal players now that are like 20 plus. It's just like there is that. You have more mature conversations. It's a more mature level of understanding.
Yeah,
and like it's really interesting to see. Like it's
a whole different vibe.
Yeah,
than what it used to be.
It's much more Euro vibes, which is something I was going to bring up. Is because we've spent a lot of time together, most of us all over the world this year.
Absolutely,
We've been lucky enough to be in Japan, Europe, America, all this stuff, and be at these huge competitions and see what they're like and see what the communities are about
around that area.
Europe was another one where there was literally no one under 18 at the KC for the 300, 400 people in attendance. And another thing that I wanted, this is like where I was going with all of this, was that we're talking about energy from the crowd and in these things. And so I've found at least that in different places, like in Japan versus Europe versus NACO, like in America, there's a lot of a different energy level, like a different vibe, I guess you would say. Like in Japan, like everybody's excited, but they're all just excited, like, in a very Japanese way kind of thing. They're pretty reserved and they're not like too rowdy. They're all, the whole event was sitting down for the finals at Catch and Fly. Everybody's sitting on the floor so that the people behind them can see.
Like, that's like a
so respectful.
Yeah,
which we love to see.
That would not happen in NACO ever.
No,
you know what I mean?
That's
People
what I'm saying.
sitting in the front. Yeah,
dude. Or like
standing on chairs.
Yeah, man. Or like at EKC, like I was literally on top of a fucking table.
In Japan, we're also used to just sitting on the floor as well.
Yes.
That's true.
And in schools, like, Western, whatever, North America, when you have like an assembly or something, you go to the auditorium, there's chairs,
typically
it's like
bleachers.
In Japan, you go to the gym and you sit on the floor. Everything, any kind of like get together like that for the school, anyone's gonna talk, everyone's sitting on the floor.
Yeah. I know for graduation, don't they have like, they pull out like chairs and like you all like line them up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. But that's how it is. So that's probably like one thing that kind of helped that situation of not only people being like generous to the other people behind them, so everybody could have a good shot of the stage. Yeah. Because that was one of the first things, I forgot who I was talking to.
Me.
I think.
Both of us.
Yeah.
Both of one of these guys with the hair around their shoulder length. Yeah, I was like, I don't know about this height. Like, you can't see anything. People are going to be bending down, getting those tricks. You're going to only be seeing like some of the Euro homies or the Westerners who are tall. But then only from the final 16, I think people sat down. I feel like, right?
Yeah. Yes. From what I saw, I didn't really watch the qualifiers much.
They were standing up and about for the qualifiers. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And then that camera dude was down low, shooting up at the stage, which I thought was cool.
Yeah. A bunch of cameras. Who knows about the cameras?
Yeah, I don't know who was filming.
Monty's dad.
I've heard that it was Nobu is creating some sort of documentary following Noah
and Yua.
Yeah. Right. Which, if we look at back, there was Kodaman, who released a young kendama players documentary about Yasu and Shinosuke. Maybe 4 years ago.
How ironic, they were in the finals,
right?
On YouTube.
Coincidence?
I think so. That's good.
But yeah, what were you gonna say?
You're talking about that. I actually don't know how much of this we're allowed to really discuss, but
we didn't sign an NDA.
We didn't sign no NDA. I was fucking
told
nerds.
No pictures and no videos.
Yes, the no damanerds.
Yeah.
So that was a not a documentary actually. It's a movie. Adama Girls movie starring Yua and Noah.
Yes.
And yes.
Movie.
Yes.
So we were asked to
picturing
come to the
short
venue.
film, but-
Yeah, we were asked to come to the venue the day after Catch and Flow
Yes.
and be extras and be part of this. So
Yes.
we were
Yeah.
at the venue
Yeah.
and we were up at the front.
6 hours.
Yeah, we were there all
for
day.
6
It was a
hours.
fat set.
It was a movie.
You guys
set.
got money, right?
No.
We got a free capsule.
Free capsule.
Free
hotel.
capsule hotel.
5 days.
Yeah.
So like that's pretty good.
And they
I've-
fed us.
So a day per hour.
Okay.
Well, I didn't get a bento box.
You did
'cause I
not
went
get
for
a bento
coffee and came
box.
back. They're all fucking gone.
It's true. That's
that's
exactly.
okay.
But we didn't know that there was
Yeah,
bento
yeah.
boxes
Me
until
and
like.
Matt.
No,
So
but
primarily
yeah,
food.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sour Mash got screwed out
Oh
of that
my
too.
god.
They
And then
did
I was like,
Right, none of us knew, and all of a sudden Coda was like, "Oh, they have bento boxes for everybody." And I was
Yeah.
like, "We."
Thanks, Coda.
We can- I was
You're
like-
the only translator we got right now.
I was like, "We can have those," and he was like, "I think so." Like,
It was.
they didn't know either.
Man, it was
Right,
it was
dude.
interesting to be like I've been on a lot of movie sets and shit like that, and it was
Yeah,
very
it's true.
interesting to be on a movie set again, but for kendama and
Yes.
with all the
Dude, it
Dama
was
homies.
awesome.
Yes.
And like it was really funny to be in such an interesting situation with the same homies that were always hyping and shit like that, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're mixed in with a bunch of extras. We're just standing there, just deadpan, just looking
And not gonna lie,
waiting for waiting for
Not-
direction, like not talking, not really like going anywhere.
my
Yeah.
gosh.
So
Oh my
all the
This is
gaijin
so
squad comes
awkward.
in, and we're just
we're going.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, bro.
I thought you guys were there already, but no, you guys brought the flavor.
No, we
really
brought the
did.
energy.
We were working above our pay
energy.
grade. we were going like twice as hard as like some of these
Especially
extra
Weeds.
You guys,
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
Weeds.
This was going
dude,
ham.
there was Kelvin almost won an Oscar.
Yeah.
He
There
almost
was-
okay. So
he fake cried like
yeah,
in the
I took all my glasses.
Yeah,
I was like,
Maxida. Maxida did the same thing on stage.
Yeah, but Maxida
Yeah.
was on stage and really
he was
And he did
like
the same thing.
dude,
a whole bunch of
Jake,
dude, it
Jake was on
great.
the mic. He's like, "You must be such a proud father."
and like it was really funny because like there's so much mystery behind it. It was very unorganized, very catch and flow. It like
Yeah.
but it was all just happening, and like we were kind of really allowed to do whatever the fuck we wanted outside of
Yeah.
of like they needed us to be
What an
quiet
experience.
because we're in the background of
Yeah.
this shot for this
Right,
one.
right,
So
right.
we're all cheering and
They
getting
were, like,
excited, but
fake
we have to be
cheering.
quiet.
Yeah.
So like
silent cheering.
Yeah.
Silent cheering.
You just hear shuffling and like Weens filmed that.
I have some video. of
Yeah,
this.
Weens and Rod both filmed us like
my
silent
God.
cheering,
Dude.
and right when they said like, "Oh, you're done or cut or whatever,"
just
we're all just fucking laughing our asses off.
Dude, yeah, well, the ones we started and Mash was going up on the stage and fucking ate shit.
I fell. I jumped from the side to the stage. And my shoe kicked the front. I was like, "Doom." But still didn't skip a beat.
No, you did. I didn't even know.
That shot's gonna make it.
That was also, I gotta say, one of the sketchiest stages we've ever had at a Kendama.
Oh my god! They had to
yeah.
duct tape it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Things moving too much.
We're
Get some
at our
duct
level
tape.
of
It's like
the floor, I guess, of that stage. And what it seemed like it was, those camping fold-out chairs?
Dude, they were exactly
what?
like
That's what
Yeah.
the frame was.
What?
And then they just put this piece of wood, square wood, or whatever board, on top of
and
it.
they had little pegs that you could
That were
tighten.
screwed
Yeah,
into
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Oh.
Come up and screw them in.
and the
But some of the we were helping bring the stage pieces.
Okay.
or at least I was in the.
you're
it
taking
was-
apart who's fucking going camping
Yeah.
now?
Got there 9:30 or whatever, and they were bringing up all the stage
Yeah,
squares
yeah.
to set up, and there was a few that were they needed to get new ones. That's kind of what I was like, dude, I can squeeze this, and it's coming up and stuff, and there was duct tape around one of them, and I'm like, dude, this is super sketch.
If you go back and watch my live stream of the finals, there's parts where they took a break where they had Isamu and some of the homies that were working come and try and fix
Yeah.
it. And you can see I had my camera and I pointed at when I grab it with my hand pieces are moving and shit.
Yep.
You know,
yeah,
I was
totally
literally
detaching.
I was literally holding the stage with my feet at one
I saw
point
that.
and telling people not to go there and shit.
Right. They were like, oh, that front, if you're on a stage, that
Yeah.
front right corner was
Yeah.
super sketch.
Right.
Yeah, and of course, as a performer, you want to use the stage. You got all that
Right.
room, you
Yeah.
fucking use that shit.
And even
right?
the MCs, are walking around,
Exactly.
especially
Yeah.
on the edges.
Right.
So
Exactly,
it's
and
good that-
everybody's so hyped and focused on the event and the player that you're not gonna see the fucking stage. It's all
Right.
fucked up.
But we were doing a pretty good job, even between Nobu, Jake, and even all the players. They were doing a good job of being yo, don't go over there.
Mhm, mhm.
that part's a little scary.
The whole
like
time.
the whole time.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
we're, I mean, above all, like we want everybody to be safe and not get hurt. Like that's
100%.
like you know, priority number one. So.
Yeah, we would have been getting our legs chopped. But it was cool, that Nobu was like totally like, all right, like stop, figure out how to fix this. Like,
Yep, and then they duct taped
They
it
did
down.
it
and
once, and then the second time they duct taped
And
it.
then it was solid.
yeah, it was solid after the duct tape.
And I was
But
like,
they had to take it down for the night because that place is a club. So for the movie day, they rebuilt it all shitty like.
Yeah,
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
like their team built it instead of like us.
Yeah.
Like no, it's not. I mean, I'm not trying to say it. not the extras, but whoever went to go help do the stage. I just think because it wasn't. They probably didn't. The panels weren't in the exact same spot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
There's a
So
little
even if they
different,
try to
yeah.
secure it, like now it's in different places that it's more sketch instead of the ones like we knew that we could easily fix.
Exactly.
Because
Yeah.
like things were turned, maybe they were flipped and put on the other side instead of the underside, and like now all the variables are all over the place.
And like one of the sketchiest parts about it, I don't want to give too much away about the movie, but there was a wheelchair involved.
Yeah.
And like the wheelchair on the fucking stage, dude.
I hope
Like,
you guys are all interested right
getting
now.
close to the
So
fucking
interested. I'm the only one that's the same side as the listeners, being like,
Yeah.
what?
dude. I can't
is
wait to
all
see
of
this
this?
movie.
I can't
'cause
wait.
It was a movie.
I know
It was a movie. It was a
There,
movie.
there was a lot of fucking hilarious
Good
little like
God.
shameless self promotion shit going
Oh my
on.
God,
You know,
dude.
like oh we're gonna have a shot here. Like oh no, I dropped my sticker right in front of the camera.
Where the judges are.
Yeah, you know, like,
Tio
let me
like
put a
throw a
kendama on
GT
you.
sticker
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Face the
like-
logo.
Get that product placement, baby. What's up?
and like
Whoa.
yeah, like Sour Mash got to be the main judge, which was pretty sick.
That was tight.
awesome. Yes.
Whoa.
He was the overall judge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
inner judging skills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Coda was Flo and
Flota.
Yeah, Flota.
Oh, Max Ida was.
Max Ida was combo.
Yes.
And then I was
Aki-
variety and Akimoto was creativity.
Yeah.
We were the only actual judges that were judges.
But you were also
I was
during
also
the finals like
They filmed one of the scenes.
little continuity.
Yeah, they filmed one of the scenes where we were cheering at the end of one of the rounds, and I'm dead center, front of the freaking separation, cheering my ass off for that round. That later we filmed me judging that round.
But
So-
he flipped his hat around and put his coat on when he So like, they might not catch
Yeah,
it.
you never know, dude.
Just so those I just none of us knew before that there was two Kevin DeSotos.
Yeah.
There's a beautiful twin brother.
Kevin and
Look at
Melvin.
that. Calvin and Melvin.
Devin Casoto.
Kevin and
Devin
Gibby.
Casoto.
Devin Casoto.
Yes, sir. That's the alter ego.
Holy man. That's funny
Oh my
shit.
god, this is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
I cannot wait
What are
I'm
to
excited
see
to see this.
what that turns into.
Yeah.
And when it comes out as well. Like, you guys know nothing, right?
And we don't
No.
dude, we didn't know anything when we were there. Never mind now.
When did you get the information that there was they needed you on that Monday? Was that Sunday night after
was-
Catch and Flow? You guys were all drinking, eating ramen,
It was the next
shitty ramen. You were like,
It was within the week. Within the week.
Yeah, they had mentioned it, but we didn't know.
Please
what we were
be
getting
here
into.
on this day.
Right.
Like,
Can we be free?
We're gonna film at the venue.
okay,
Yeah,
that's
it.
That was what we were
Film.
told.
Yeah, and then it was please be there at noon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was of
And then
course.
specific people, like not everybody. It's like specific people that were going, and it was
Yeah.
mainly like the Gaijin squad that
Wow.
went, and a few of the Japanese players.
Yeah.
And that was it. And then all of a sudden we're found out like, oh yeah, it's a movie, and I'm like, what? We're
Yeah.
like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah, and then it's like, oh yeah, we're here all fucking day.
Yeah. Like it was superficial. Like
Yeah.
all day.
We were there all day.
I think we're looking at like a year from now seeing this.
At least.
Yeah.
It could
I don't
be.
know,
Because they were taking advantage of having us there.
Yes.
Yes.
This is the first filming that they're doing for the
Was it the first?
Okay.
Yeah.
Ah,
So from
interesting.
now
From
on,
what
they're
I
gonna
understand,
move
and they're gonna
Yeah.
do the majority of
Right.
it in the spring.
yeah.
Oh,
So
they-
we're
So they
really-
just used us since we were all just
Oh my
happened to be
God.
there.
So hopefully they don't mind a quick little nerds.
Well, we gotta
Yeah,
promote
right.
it a little bit.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, this is
It's exciting. I'm actually really excited.
ridiculous.
Our IMDb pages.
Yeah, going
The
up.
soul kendama?
Yes, sir.
Hell
And they even had all the like the catch and flow,
All the
sponsors, all the
logos.
graphics
Yeah,
and all
yeah.
the logos. They kept all that. So like,
Yeah. Okay.
shameless plug for everybody
think-
who's
yeah,
sponsored catch and
absolutely,
flow.
yeah.
Like all your stuff's out there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
It's a great time.
Man. All right. Well, so now that we've leaked a little info here, why don't we bring it on back to the catch and flow event that we all just witnessed?
Yes.
As with any event, there's some upsets where like things happen and we didn't really think were gonna happen. You know, like for example, I think the biggest example for me was Wyatt versus Marty. It was a big upset.
Absolutely.
Everybody thought that Wyatt had won. Marty himself.
Marty also thought
Dude,
Wyatt
he was
won.
like he like triple took like wait what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What? Like kind of thing.
Because I didn't even see the other judge cards.
Yeah,
because I
nor should
was
you.
like, okay, so we're all gonna vote Wyatt. Like, y'all watched the same match I did,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
like that's where my head was at.
Yeah.
And then I look, and then I just see Wyatt's face,
Dude.
and I just go, what just happened?
No, and you look
And then I'm like,
other judges.
and then it was me. It was me and Kodama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He got Flow and Variety.
Yeah.
And the other
Marty
three
got the-
voted
yeah.
Marty.
Yeah.
And I was
Overall
like,
creativity.
whoa.
Yeah.
That was
Creativity, combo, and overall.
I just sat there and I was like,
shocked.
Yeah.
okay.
And
Put my stuff down. I was like,
I would also like to, commend Wyatt for keeping his cool. I remember a few years back.
Wyatt's a new
No,
Yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I went and like hung out with him afterwards, and
Yeah.
I was saying the same thing to him. I was like, man, I'm like pretty proud of you to see you fucking act in a good way after losing like that, especially in like
In the way
it was like almost a certain
Justified.
victory.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, this would have been the time it would be justified.
yeah,
for
he
him.
was even like,
Right?
he was like, I had stuff that I was saving for,
Yeah.
like,
The next,
Takuya or
Yeah.
Shinosuke or whoever
No, he-
Marty went against next. Like, he was ready for
Dude,
that
yeah.
match
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
He's been like very
Really
tactfully
strange.
like attacking these competitions.
Right,
Oh,
right.
absolutely. I mean, yeah, especially right after the Nako freestyle win, where he
Coming
was,
off a
where
win.
he was,
Yeah.
dare I say it, flawless.
Mm-hmm.
He did not have any split decision whatsoever.
No,
All throughout
it was-
Nako, he 3-0'd everybody.
Flawless victories.
Seriously, like,
straight
no,
up.
like
That's
no
a fun
brainer.
video to go watch.
Uh-huh.
He has the string of like his whole competitive run start to finish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
and it's so sick, and you can just see like, dude, he just pops off every round, like
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
never barely misses. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I think another like big upset too was Nick Gallagher and Yoga.
Oh,
Yoga. Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody expected
Yoga.
Nick
That's-
Gallagher to lose first round.
But that's the thing is, I just think people were shocked that it was an upset, but I don't think it was like a, oh, they should have voted Nick.
Yeah,
like,
no,
Yoga
totally.
outplayed Nick.
because
Yeah.
Ryoga beat Nick.
Oh, he 100%.
On paper, he beat him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Nick was
but
like,
he beat
hey, you did great. that was awesome.
Yeah.
But I like I said, no one saw that coming.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It was a little bit different
Yeah,
situation.
Exactly.
Totally.
And
What
this is
about
something.
that Takuya round?
Takuya
Takuya Shinosuke was
Yeah.
another one where it
should have
was
won that.
it was
In my
a
opinion.
3-2 split. I voted for Takuya. And I don't remember who else voted for Takuya.
Yeah, I don't remember
Yeah.
either, but that was
I'm just saying.
those
But
ones
totally.
were back to back. I think.
Totally.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
another
those
one
were
that people were surprised.
it was back to back, and I think those might have been the only
like huge
two
upset.
split decision judgings.
Mm.
Yeah.
If I'm
Oh,
not
okay,
mistaken,
Mm.
those might have been the only two like 3-2 situations.
Go back to the
Yeah.
tapes.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And
Yeah.
that's like where I think it gets very interesting with like judging and like choosing your judges and having these categories and stuff. So like in a way, like I don't know what you guys think, but it could be the judging selection is very important when it comes down to these events. Is like not only the judges themselves and like who these people are, where their places in the community, as well as their knowledge of the current meta and all of that, but also the variety of like the different parts of like the judging. What am I trying to say? Not the variety. Variety is one of them. The different judges like categories. Sorry, that's the word I'm looking for. Is categories. So like in a way, it's almost like the categories are what made these upsets happen potentially.
Yes.
Yeah,
Or, you know, like
or the judge.
like I don't even necessarily think it was just the judge themselves per se, but like the category itself. Like if you're only looking at this
Yes,
one
totally.
category
Yeah.
and you're like as a competitor, like just doing your thing and not thinking about those categories, or even if you are, like why it has been like we were saying,
Yeah.
it still might be different than what you think because these different people have different mindsets about it, right?
Yeah,
And
right.
different
And
thoughts
we
about it.
didn't necessarily like tell anybody.
No, exactly.
What
There's
we
no
were-
like
what we were
Specifically,
looking for.
right?
Right.
Just the general. Here's the label.
Right. It was
Yeah,
like, oh,
like-
yeah, variety, do different types of tricks, like with no knowledge of like what I'm looking for.
Yeah, well, now they know. If they're listening to this, they got a little bit of a list, right?
There might have been one or two I didn't say, but
no, I think you got to about.
I said most of them.
I think you got to about 7, but there was like 2 or 3 that were in the same category that I think could also go either way.
I think there's the one-off super tech tricks like Marty's however many turntables or his
I had a category for that.
Throw up, peer away.
Yeah, so I had a unique category of certain tricks that you can't classify.
Yeah.
So
little diamond.
Right.
100%.
Right. So perfect examples like Marty's turntable stuff or people doing weird variations of stuff
Yasu's dance moves where he catches the tom on his leg.
And that to me that adds a variety to the performance and what you're that variety adds to the variety.
Yeah,
so I called it unique because I didn't know what else to call it. But I knew it was this means something I can't categorize into anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So I would put it in unique, and I'm like, oh, you did something that you don't see very often, therefore you get that mark for unique.
Yeah.
Kevin, question. You guys were also judging difficulty, or is that only in the prelims?
Yes. To both of your questions.
Both. So
it was prelims and final, prelims and one-on-one.
You're doing variety and difficulty.
Yeah,
because
they
umbrella situation.
Yeah, because that's how the qualifiers were working. Is I don't even know if they explained that to anybody who's ever done qualifiers of how they do the numbers and how the judges score you. Where did the scores come from? Where do you get those numbers?
Mm-hmm.
So we have I don't even know if you know.
I have heard about it before, but I don't know if I know the current matter.
So it's basically every judge has a 1 out of 10 scale, and there's a difficulty 1 out of 10 and a whatever your category is 1 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
You circle the 2, multiply those 2 numbers, and it's out of 100.
Mm-hmm.
So and there's only the overall judge doesn't do qualifiers, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So your perfect score would be 400. If you got every single judge with a 10 difficulty from all of them and a 10 out of which is say qualified first with a 288 out of 400
still pretty fucking good,
but that's still
and
that's not there's so much more, right? That's what I'm saying. But it's very hard, and I know me and Torkild are talking about it too. Whoever goes first. It's oh dude, it sucks because we don't know our gauge of what we haven't seen.
You gotta have a very
and we know that they structure it to the pro players, top players are at the end, and the not pro player, top players in the beginning.
Totally.
So we start with easier stuff and gradually go into the impossible. So it's hard to know okay, how do I judge this first round? Knowing all those motherfuckers at the end are coming.
You can't be really nice in the first round.
You can't. Right? You have to whatever you pick and whatever you go off of. You're I have to stay strict the whole freaking time. Yeah. Like I said, I thought probably one of the highest scores I gave out was a 70 something.
Mm-hmm.
It was nothing higher than that.
Yeah,
for the whole time.
And one of the best things I've seen with regards to that was at the EKC, the judges. It was a 2-day event, so with Catch and Flow it wouldn't make sense. But what the judges did at EKC was they reviewed the footage of all of the qualifiers after the event.
That's true. Yeah,
and they took time to redo all of that.
That's how online Catch and Flow was.
Exactly.
Because everybody sent in videos. And I was given the task of, hey, by this date, you need to watch all the videos and score everybody. So I could go back, rewatch, slow it down, really look at it and be oh, you missed that, okay. Or oh, that was really tech. I didn't notice it the first time. So you can, you watch all these different videos and then it's in it's kind of the same kind of order where it's, not the pro players first, pro players last. So it took a lot of time.
Of course.
Don't get me wrong.
I think when they did it, it took 6 hours. After the event, all day. They went back to Teal's apartment.
I had about 6 or 7, 7 or 8 pages that one year for online Catch and Flow, and I probably did 2 a day.
Yeah,
and it was maybe 12 videos, 13 videos I'd watch, all a minute and a half. So I had to watch.
Yeah.
So basically, I watched 20, 24 videos, all a minute and a half. and I'm just analyzing. And like every single one, I'm taking notes the whole time. Press pause, write some notes, press play again, kind of rewind. Dude.
Yeah, man.
That shit took forever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, bro. I was at home and they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm a judge. I gotta do all this shit." Like
that online catch and flow is like super fun because I remember trying it in like 2020 and I was just like, okay, like, I was just gonna, it's just another Instagram clip, right? I spent like possibly like 2 or 3 hours just trying to come up with like the best combination. I did run.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too, is now the bar is set because ideally you should be submitting perfect runs.
Yes.
For qualifiers,
no misses.
You should be submitting something that is a like a routine trick that you're filming for Instagram.
Yeah.
And that's not freestyle.
No, it is not.
Yeah.
And it's so for me, it was like if people miss like maybe 2 or 3 times, I'm like, that wasn't a good round. But like in real life, you only miss 2 or 3 times, you're damn near perfect. Like, like that's one of the best rounds they've had.
It's fucking hard.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that to me, that upped difficulty was hard to judge because now you know that like, oh, you missed a few times and then you just went with that.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So clearly.
So rather than difficulty, it's like effort put in.
Absolutely.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. Like everybody was making a mini edit.
You should start at 100.
Yeah.
At those reviewing those videos.
Right. Like you should be coming in with, like I said, a perfect run. Every video should have been a perfect run, and there was a few that were actually like perfect.
Yeah.
Like I think Bonds had one where he didn't miss whatsoever.
Good. Yeah.
Like his qualifier video. Yeah, and I was like, damn, or he missed like once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so he clearly, knowing him, he probably just went out, set up a camera, and just started jamming.
Yeah.
And then had like maybe like 5 tricks he really wanted to do, and everything else was just kind of,
getting
fluffer stuff in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. But so that being said, do you feel like outside of the fact that like it's not as freestyle for the online thing, and I guess you haven't experienced it, the in-person comp, like reviewing footage like this, but do you feel that you were giving like a more consistent score and like a more fair score because you could review it over and over? Because like you're saying, there's things you miss the first time, and the second time you get to rewatch it.
Absolutely.
Like
but after a while, it's like I started thinking about like, man, I should probably watch, the first sets of videos again and go off of, any new information. And so, and I was like, and then I just basically was like, stop.
Yeah.
You cannot do that because I'm just going to keep fucking circling around and changing up my order. It's like, in my mind, I was like, I want to treat this like if I saw these live once, one time.
So you did your first initial reaction?
Yes, to each one. I may have stopped and rewinded within, but I did not rewatch a whole entire run. Like I said, after I did kind of like the first 2 sets of videos, I was like, I'm going to waste a lot of time and I'm not going to get anywhere with that. But I did... once again, after the first couple of runs, you kind of figure out, like, am I being too high? Am I being too low? Because there was a point where I started to give more 10s to people because I was like, that was more difficult than this, and this was a 10, so I have to give that a 10. And you're like, shit. Like, then that should have been like a 9. Like, so.
But then there's another one that was a 9 that's more than this, and
you have to almost like know who's going to make the most difficult run and then who's going to make the most least difficult run and then go off of that. But that's impossible.
That's fucking nuts.
There's like some sort of like
set yourself up for that.
Mental mind game, gamble, like anticipation.
Right. And you got you got to eliminate any bias or whatever of anything. Like you have to be completely like critical of and analytical of everybody. Like,
so in that sense, it feels like, because I remember when that came up, like I gave it a shot. I went outside, brought the camera. I was like, fuck. I'm like, I just have to like make a solid run, and then like I'd be doing like maybe okay, because when you're pressure on stage, it's a totally different game, and even for most players, not like people like the tops who can just almost flawlessly do those things on stage and off stage if they're comfortable or uncomfortable. But it's like I'm on camera, I could spend time on this, I could do it, but it almost feels like you'd have almost a better chance going up on stage instead of trying to focus and making a killer video
like video
for the
part.
person
Yeah.
doing it, as well as for the judges, because it's easier for you guys just to do it on the spot, because it's just in these however many hours of this event you're gauging as you're going, so
Right.
you don't never have to doubt yourself further than like you're saying, having to rewatch shit.
Because there's the whole like idea of, you know, a top player goes up there and botches.
Yeah, which
You know?
oh man, like what was it last 2019? Oh, what was it? Or like the
Most
year
players
before
did.
2018?
It was 19.
Yeah, there it was.
The
was one
final,
international
the finals.
player in the top 16
yeah,
of Catch a Flow last.
I think
Yeah.
was
it
it?
was
No, I
like
think
all
it was
Japanese
18.
or something.
Was it? Fuck, I don't remember. But yes,
One of the final runs.
it was.
Something
It was.
happened.
I possibly could be wrong, but I think it was like Bond's Nick,
That was
and they
18.
both botched.
That was 18.
Like pretty much both their runs. And it was just like,
Yeah.
And that is, in my opinion, that is more normal than crazy finals runs.
happens
Yeah, so I'll tell you this right now.
Yeah,
The third place match is usually better than the finals.
yeah, because they're like,
most
we already
cases-
fucking lost. Let's
Wait,
just
we lost. Pressure's gone.
Yeah,
Pressure's
let's just have fun.
evaporated immediately.
Yeah, so
and
now
now
we
you
go.
can like have fun.
And you get one more chance to go fucking put on a show.
Right, and then
Yeah.
so usually those third and fourth place matches like are back and forth really good. In the finals, it's usually always one sided or always they both just shit the bed. It's very rare that both of them play at like a similar top tier level.
Yeah.
That the judges have to go, well, shit.
Yeah.
Like you almost want to make them do another round, like that type
Yeah.
of close. You know what I mean?
I think EKC, like that freestyle final between Alex and Nick, that was
And that was crazy.
that was some of the that
if
was,
you guys haven't
yeah.
watched that video, go watch that
Please
video.
do on
That
the
was
Soul
some
Canal
wild
YouTube channel, baby. But yeah.
Making Boss Man happy with that one.
But it was like it's nuts because like, you know, like during that like entire freestyle run, like you didn't see each person crack. Nobody, like, you know, there was no like, you know,
rare.
like, open door that like no a person gave another person. Like, you know, both of them landed some crazy ass tricks. Nick landed that quint still flip, like, you know,
First try.
And
That
then,
was fucking gay.
and then
Insane.
and then Alex landed some like, you know, like it's like so many fantastic combos. Like I remember like his first initial combo and his second round was like this quad tap Kush house line. It was like it was the most unsure I've ever felt about a decision ever. And I wasn't even a judge. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, just imagine if you were a judge.
I'd be fucked.
Exactly.
Yeah. I want to
Yeah.
go home.
There were some times.
Yeah.
I was like, dude,
at
I don't
EKC
fucking-
also they allowed you to give the X instead of choosing a side as a judge.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
So which brings up the opportunity for just that fucking no.
Yeah.
Which you obviously can't have in the finals,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So
Because only one, and it has to be unanimous X's.
exactly.
So if it's like XX one vote, that one vote decides it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or if you have like X and then one's one way, one's the other way, then it's a tie. So you
Yeah.
have two ways to
And
tie.
yeah, and then what? Right? You either give them
gold
another
medals?
round or what? Rejudge? Like you can't do
It's
that.
fucking the Olympics.
And I
Yeah.
personally don't like the third round.
Mm.
I've done it a few times.
I've done
Personally,
it as well.
personally, I hate it.
I
Yeah.
lost because of it the one time.
I
Actually.
also like it's Las Vegas Chrome Takeover Las Vegas.
Oh yeah.
Rudy just
Gets
ran me
Rudy.
over, dude.
Rudy's simplicity
in
on
that freaking third round.
Yeah.
Because like we did really good, and like when you do the finals and you're so used to doing those two rounds, all of this out of the tank. I'm done.
Yeah. Okay.
I let it all on the freaking floor.
Yeah.
And now you come to the judging and you're like, you know, your adrenaline's still kind of pumping. You kind of calm down because you're just like, all right, we're waiting
Yeah.
for the decision.
Yeah.
And then it's like tie. Okay, we're gonna do a new round, and you're like,
What?
okay, now I'm mentally not in it again. I'm not
Yeah.
mentally in it anymore because I left, like I said, I left it all on the floor. I'm done.
Exactly. No.
So now you have to like, okay, I guess I got to get back in it, and then like it was just one sided.
Mm.
And for Rudy, it was like sweet.
Yeah.
For me, I was
Yeah.
like,
Totally.
For me,
play
yeah,
style.
It's
Yeah.
funny.
right. And I was like, shit.
$100.
Right. I was like, it's like $5
money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's almost like better for the audience than it is for the competitor.
Oh, it is.
Oh,
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
And it's funny, actually, you said because it's the Crom takeover. For me, it was Tacoma takeover.
Yeah.
And I was against the fucking Hag Lord, Sam Cannon.
God.
And I gave him a fucking run for his money. But in that third round, it was like, yo, go again. And I was like, okay, yeah, I always like going again. I'm down. I love getting up there and putting on a show. But like you said, man, I was just like, fuck, my bag is empty.
Right.
Like, what the fuck? I did everything I was going to do. Like, what now what? I need another bag.
Yeah, I'm out of bags. I'm out of bags. But Brew Battle does 3 rounds for their freestyle final specifically. But that is mentioned.
But
so you're ready
beforehand. So you're mentally prepared.
So you just go, God damn it.
You're ready.
You know,
it's
and
just
it's
a curveball, but you have
and it's doubly limb. So like, imagine being imagine being in the loser side and having to play 6 rounds of freestyle.
You bracket
back to
reset,
back.
Yeah,
and then
variety is gone.
Variety's gone because you're just going, well, I got to reach back into all the bags I did in all the other rounds.
Like,
so you're going to see the same shit. Like, I got nothing else for you. Or else I'm just going to be up here like, I guess I'll cut flow because I didn't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck. Which, honestly, I think there should be more cut flow in this shit. I mean, there's a place for it.
There's a place.
There's a way to do it, for sure.
Right.
Like how you do it, like with your, like, like lean back around the world.
Yeah.
I fuck with that hella.
Yeah, that was a trick that I fucking just escaped my mind when I was on stage. It's like, after I got off, I was like, oh, son of a bitch.
That's how that's literally how freestyle does it to you. Because literally, I got on stage like, fuck, I could have landed this.
Right. You go up there, you're like,
God.
I'm going to do this trick to start, and I'm going to go into this combo, and I'm probably going to do this combo later.
Yeah.
You do your first trick, and then you just go, I don't remember. Exactly.
And then you do the first trick again.
Yeah. And then you just like start throwing the kendama in the air and seeing what happens and spike it. Like,
that one looks like a learner.
You're like, it's rotating a little extra fast, go to in. Like, you're making all these like little split second decisions, and then randomly you'll see players like fumble because they're like, what do I do? Like they realize that they just got kicked out of this like flow state and they have to get back into like their plan. But you have 20 more seconds and you're like, shit the whole time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's bananas.
That was me this year.
Yeah.
I got strung up and I was like, fuck. It took me like probably
you got like what 8 knots on stage or something.
Actually though, like there's a knot still in that string I couldn't get out. I gave up.
Yeah, you would do it and you were just like like I saw you say fuck it and just threw another moon
I literally
circle.
just went for it. Yeah, and that's my problem is that I go on autopilot and I'm like, moon circle again. Holy shit! I just did 5 moon circles.
Wait. A moon circle.
Yeah, and like actually though, it's a real problem.
For everyone, it's like that go-to trick, and you're so comfortable, and you're like, I can do this.
You're like, I need something, and this is something I can do very consistently.
Yeah, and like I just spent the last fucking 30 seconds missing. So I need to fucking stop missing. So in order to get that like confidence back and get back in that flow state,
and get the momentum.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You land, people are like, yeah! And you're like, what next? The moon circle!
Dude, and then the cycle fucking continues.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it's over.
2, 1.
Yeah, and
you're like, I guess I'll
moon circle.
Yeah, I guess I'll do like a
hat flip.
or like I'll just huck a J and see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time, dude.
I love the scramble for airplane at the end.
Oh my god,
dude! Yeah.
That's the classic.
Everyone just like whatever I can do, just pull a spike. Yeah, spike it. I got one more spike.
Yeah, that was
Dude,
something I found interesting this year was that there was a lot more like leniency with the ending. Like it ended, but people were still juggling, and they still got like 2-3 juggles.
Yeah.
or
It was like
10
it was still in the air
after the
Right.
The
Like
motion's
once-
still going. Wait until
Right,
Yeah.
like if you're 3, 2, 1, and parts are moving, then I would say you finish that. That would technically still count,
That's a slippery slope.
There was some combos that went like 5
you stop
seconds
your
past.
motion. Like if you do that combo and then it slaps lunar, you stop the motion. That doesn't count anymore.
Yes.
Yeah.
However,
But if you insta flip that lunar,
motion's still going.
motion's still going, and that's where the gray line is right there.
Exactly.
Because now it's like, so you could just technically do a crazy long tap insta juggle line, which did happen.
Yeah.
This is what
And
I
it was
gonna
one of
say.
them where it did happen at the end, and I was like, I don't know how I felt about that.
Yeah.
What was
It was
the
weird.
amount of taps that we're at?
60.
60-something.
60 shades
Exactly.
of gray?
So
60 Shades of Grey.
you're a genius for that. Oh my fucking god, that's amazing. So like, ideally, you could have an infinite round if that's the case. Because you could just go up and do taps for 45 seconds.
Oh my god.
And not,
Takuya at 3, 2, 1.
Yeah,
You,
3,
he
2,
pulled
1.
it up.
Yeah.
He's going. He's going.
and that would, you have a flawless round, you have a huge banger, like
You kill it at the end with a massive 30
that's what I'm
taps.
saying. And now you've gone over the time. So when is, you know what I mean?
And you're also like adding time to the event now. So like the
Right.
it's going further back.
can-
Like, and if everybody does that, you're gonna double the amount of time this event takes.
Right. And that- and
Especially
if
if it's
we're-
something like double limb.
And if we're thinking that, somebody else somewhere is thinking how to like abuse the system to benefit themselves.
No, absolutely.
That's no, dude. Someone somewhere is thinking about.
Fukushima, I talked with Fukushima. He said he's not competing anymore.
Oh. Wow. But it's not necessarily abuse in a bad way. It's like what I was saying
like-
before about pushing boundaries.
Yeah,
like with
people-
the long-
people-
Finding the bend in the
Yeah.
law.
Right, the loopholes, the
one
what,
tiny crack, and then forms into like much more.
right.
It's
Any
like-
any leeway that you can get that's not like,
Yeah.
hey, you have to. There's no, you have to do this. They're
Well, they said
people are
I
gonna.
didn't have
Yeah.
to do that.
It's like
People
how-
are going to push those boundaries every single time. They're going to find a way. Someone somewhere is going to find a way, and then they're going to make a rule about it.
Exactly.
That's what happens. It happens in sports all the fucking
Exactly.
time.
That's what happened with KWC with the fucking the handing tricks rule and shit like
Yeah.
that.
right.
Yeah.
Like
You know?
something has the system has to be abused
Yep.
In
for,
order for us to
for it to
understand
be
Fixed
fixed
adjusted.
and
Yeah.
more like concrete to where it's like there's no way around any of this bullshit. It's all walled up.
Good
You-
luck.
You fuck off. You're not going to be able to, or else
Yeah.
we're going to catch you.
Totally.
But
there
it's
you go.
it's fluid until you get to that point, and people
Down
are-
spikes, instas, all that.
right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the levels for down
Exactly.
spikes and like stunt planes like that. It wasn't like super talked about until after a while. You're like, okay,
These are
we
down
need to, it's like
spikes,
we
like-
need to
Yeah,
explain
yeah,
because people
yes.
will do the whole like.
The up spikes.
Yeah, and then finish
Yeah.
like
It's like it's not where you finished it. It's
Yeah.
where you spiked
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the same as the handed base cup thing.
Oh.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
has been a big topic of
Big
discussion.
one.
I found, like, at least within the live stream and stuff
it. Absolutely.
that
Yeah.
I saw. And
It's not base cup.
I believe that that's a cool like performance tactic.
Absolutely.
Because you're making it look cool. It looks like magic, even though you're fucking handing it and holding
Right.
it.
It's like
smoke.
spinning the tama when you swirl.
Exactly. Or like Shinosuke
Yeah,
did
yeah.
that
With his,
live.
with his chem flips.
Okay.
He
Yeah,
spun
it was-
the tama.
yeah,
Yeah,
he
spun the
spin-
tama.
he-
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Spun the
he-
tama.
if
Each
you
time.
watch it, he
Yes.
throws the tama in a way that it spins.
So he's like, all right, I'm coming down. Boom.
Yeah.
And so it spins.
Right
so
there.
Yeah. So or like Wyatt's down spikes,
Spinning
like the
top.
swap down spikes. Like with
That's
the,
why he's so on it.
Exactly.
Right.
He's got that
and like
spin.
some of them are a little more like edgier than others, but like they're all within the realm, And
Right.
It's the
I
same.
think Wyatt's is different though.
No, that's what I'm
No,
getting.
exactly.
Exactly.
Like it's not all exactly the same, but like this is kind of what we're talking about of like finding a way to create more consistency or create whatever you need to. And some are like the handed base cup thing. Like this isn't necessarily as accepted as Thomas spinning your swirl or Thomas spinning
Yeah,
a
yeah,
down
yeah.
spike because everybody does that shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not everybody, especially like in the States.
Yeah.
This is a no-no.
Oh,
Yes,
absolutely.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And,
And,
like-
and then out here in Japan, like a lot of the players did that. But
Yeah.
like I also understand the performance aspect of it.
Yes.
So like I get that.
but this is not a performance.
Right.
This is a fucking freestyle battle.
Yes.
Right.
So like you're being judged on difficulty, like you said,
Right.
and things like that.
So
And,
that
like,
takes
there
that
used to
takes
be
off points
yeah,
basically.
there used to be a
Okay.
cleanliness
You can do it.
judge, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like-
Shimadera.
Yes.
That would
So,
be
like,
why.
Yeah. That would he would get there. You would get minus points for cleanliness if that was the case because it was like, well, all right, you didn't do that.
You're
cleanly,
touching
but-
both parts at the same time. That is a no-no.
Right.
That's not manipulating it anymore. That's just doing it.
Right.
Like forcefully, essentially. It's kind of like the two-hand like juggle things that a lot of people have been doing.
yeah.
Which
Oh.
there is like as a guy who juggles, there is a way to do it where you're doing it with both hands, but there's always one piece in the air.
Right.
I'm not.
Yeah,
like,
you're never
I
holding.
don't have the Ken in
Yes.
one hand, Tom in the other, and just go do because like you can do this all fucking day.
Yeah.
And you're like whoop. Whoop, like that's fucking like that's not juggling. That's literally just holding two things and throwing them in the air and catching them.
Yeah.
Is that what juggling is? Though?
You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Fuck. But yeah, man, it's very interesting and like like you said, like we're never gonna have these rules in place. If it ain't fucking broken, you can't fix it.
Yeah.
So like we're never gonna be able to like address these things until we experience them.
Absolutely.
So we're at that state now where like we're all seeing it. It's in the conversation. So I think we're on the way to dealing with it in a way where it will get better.
Right.
Because we'll like I think a lot of these players don't know. You know, like Yasu is one who does that a lot, or or that comes from like EGs, like performance kind of stuff, right? Because they have similar style.
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody's actually had the conversation with him to be like, hey, you know, like you do that, and that's super sick, but we don't respect this on a stage like Catch and Flow because, you know, and maybe that's up to someone like me who can actually talk to him in Japanese to have that conversation.
That's true. Yeah, and
It's
in Japan they stay away from any controversial.
And like I don't want to come up to him at the event or something and be like, hey, yo, cut that shit out,
what
dude.
you just did?
Yeah. There's a good way to go about it, but
because it doesn't. Even with doing that, it still doesn't take away from, you know, like any of the other bananas tricks that they do.
No, exactly.
Right.
And that's the thing, is that they're good enough to not do that.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly. And so it's always like a, come on.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's right. Like,
kind of.
like, just catchphrase guy.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, just do the fucking trick.
Yeah. It's also like interesting to see because like, you know, like say like you do have this conversation with Yasu and like, you know, it could change his whole play style like, you know, year or two down the road.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
and like I want everyone to be stoked on this kind of shit, you know? Like I don't want someone to like feel bad because they like, oh no, like that's what people think, like oh fuck, you know, like so it's kind of a weird line to walk because because at the end of the day we're all here to play with fucking kendama. And like this competition and all this shit is we take it seriously because we are making a profession out of this.
Yes.
However, we're all here. It's a fucking excuse for us all to just get together and go fucking do karaoke
travel the world.
Japan,
Exactly.
Right? Sing the fucking Benny and the Jets. And fucking,
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
sir.
Like fucking. And at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. Is this silly little fucking toy that we've all just been obsessed with that brings us together, and we have these things that like legitimize it as a profession or as an occupation or whatever word you want to use. But really, all we want to do is hang the fuck out and play kendama.
Exactly.
And that separates, or not necessarily separates. Wrong word. Before I was trying to say something. That brings a point to me where, you know, kendamas have gotten a lot more competitive over the years, and you have a whole bunch of play just for fun stands, and you have all of the I want to win, I'm in competing mode, try hard stands.
Yeah, the sweaty motherfucker.
Right, the sweats. So now it's like all of these people, all the sweats are like it needs to be exact, it needs to be to all the rules, it needs to be this, it needs to be that, so it's fair for everybody, right? But that attitude is like the opposite of the we're playing this for fun, like we're doing it in our unique way, and like things of that nature. So it's like when you have people that are kind of maybe bridging the gap between the two, you can really please both sides when you do that. Because you're adding something, you know, stuff that's maybe too fun for people who are taking it a lot more seriously, and then you have the other side that's like, oh, like you should take this more seriously and not, you know, but taking it seriously should be fun, and it's like it's
really just an understanding of it, you know, as a whole. Like I like to think that I'm somebody that kind of walks the line between those two sides. Where like I obviously play for fun, and I like my whole thing with Catch and Flow is like I go up there to have fucking fun.
Absolutely.
And I fucking I botch sometimes and I lose like everybody. But I'm still fucking out there to have fun. And I do still take it seriously, where I would love to fucking make it to the finals. But ultimately it's because I want to be up there having more fun.
You know what I mean? You bridge the gap
exactly,
you know, between the two. And I think, you do a great job of that. You know, it's not too, because you still have, I'm going to have fun, but within the constitutes of the seriousness. You know what I mean? And I think that's like a very good way to do it. And it's hard if you go more into one than the other for the other side.
It's also like a very huge thing of like kind of like your upbringing too, because you know, like for me, like you know, I never really had a lot of things that like I was really good at, and then kendama came into my life, and I was like, wait, I think I do have potential in this, and then like, you know, that sparks like a fire within you, and it's just like, you know, you want to dedicate as much of your mental effort and your motivation to be in the upper caliber of play and the upper caliber of professionals that are like in the sport.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fucking A, man.
Damanerds. Episode
heavy in the
5-8
round.
Yeah.
Man. And I was gonna bring this back around too. That we're kind of missing out on some fun right now at the Sioux Lab.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's going to be an empty party.
Oh, I think they'll still.
No, they'll still be going.
Our bags and shit are there. They can't leave.
It's true.
without
They
us.
can't leave.
They'll never leave.
But man, this has been a great conversation with you guys as always.
Absolutely.
Talking about all the good stuff, all the bad stuff, everything in between.
Yeah. Mostly cash and flow. Really good recap of what it was like. There's a lot of people who maybe couldn't make it, didn't make it. I heard from a lot of people from around the world that the prices were like really expensive for airplane tickets to Japan.
They were.
What's the cheapest flight I've ever bought?
Right. So hopefully this can itch that scratch for those people who want to know what it was like. Again, there's no official live stream from the venue itself.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully everyone, you can get some insight again. He said the same word about Catch and Flow 2002.
Absolutely.
From the Soul Boys.
Tokyo sick.
Japan's sick. We're in Japan.
Yeah.
We're in Japan, baby.
We're in Japan,
And,
baby.
thank you guys for taking the time to come and have this sesh with us to get all this knowledge out there for the nerds.
Truly.
Even you, Mr. Sourmash, who didn't get much of a chance to hear from you on this episode.
Oh, that's quite all right though.
But always just
The silent
next to
killer.
you is like
you guys are
the
very
pleasure.
interesting.
We're nerds.
Fucking
We are nerds.
Fucking
Absolutely.
nerds. And speaking of nerds, we got to shout out all of our nerds Patreons who are helping
Yes.
support and keep this shit alive
So much.
so that we can keep having these conversations and
Amazing.
do these beautiful things.
Totally.
And, Yeah, I
Thank you all
think
so much.
on that note, these nerds are gonna go play some kendama at Sioux Lab. So we
Yes, sir.
are out.